Ready for the jury?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, let's bring them in.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly affirm that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The acoustics in this room are not good.
Okay.
So if you can keep your voice up so the jurors in the back can hear you, that would be appreciated. Can you just start by telling us your name and spelling your last name? Actually, in your case, can you spell your first name as well?
Certainly. It's Amy, spelled A-I-M-E-E. Last name Nolan, N-O-L-A-N.
Okay. And did you formally work for Vermont State Police?
I did.
Okay. And are you now retired?
I am.
When did you retire?
October of 2023.
Okay.
Can
So,
you parties approach for 1 minute?
thank you. You were employed with the Vermont State Police in October of 2021?
Correct.
Okay. And what was your rank at the time?
Detective Sergeant?
Okay. And was that your rank at the time of retirement?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your assignment with the Vermont State Police at that time?
I was the assistant commander of the crime scene search team for the Vermont State Police.
Okay. And can you just tell us what that sort of generally means?
Sure. The crime scene search team is a team of 20 members and 2 commanders. We respond to homicides, officer-involved shootings, and other questionable death investigations. And the team specializes in processing the crime scene, collecting evidence.
Okay. Approximately how many crime scenes and death investigations have you participated in?
Well over 150.
And in mid October 15th or 16th of 2021, were you made aware of an investigation related to Emily Ferlazzo?
I was not notified until the morning of October 19th.
Okay, so prior to that, you were not involved in the case?
No.
Okay. And what information were you provided on October 19th?
I received a call from the Major Crimes Unit Supervisor. One of the lieutenants advised that there was a new case, requesting my presence at the St. Albans Barracks for a briefing later that morning.
Okay. And did you in fact attend that briefing?
I did.
And what further information did you learn?
Excuse me, at that point I learned that the state police was notified the prior day of a missing person, Emily Ferlazzo, that there were some suspicious circumstances surrounding that, that Mr. Ferlazzo, Emily's husband, had told a friend that he had killed her, and that the state police had seized a camper van as well as a Jeep that belonged to Mr. Ferlazzo.
Okay. And so what was your sort of plan or task for the day?
Initially, there was a lot of waiting around, learning new information as it was found. The search warrant was being worked on to be able to search the van and the Jeep. So I took it upon myself to sort of scour the internet, social media pages for both Emily and Joseph Ferlazzo, trying to find acquaintances that we might be able to interview, seeing if anyone had posted any comments or anything we could learn about Emily's potential whereabouts.
Okay. And at some point, did you take a break to go get food?
I had had lunch, but to be honest, I'd had enough coffee that morning, so I decided to go to the store, knowing it was going to be a late night. I wanted an energy drink and some snacks for the team once they got there. So I believe it was around 2 in the afternoon. I did leave the barracks and go to a local convenience store.
Okay. And what was that convenience store called?
Maple Fields?
Okay. And that was in St. Albans?
Yes.
All right. And who did you go there with?
One of the other team members that had arrived at the barracks, Brandon Gallant.
Okay. And who drove?
I did.
What did you drive? What vehicle did you drive?
I drove my state-issued cruiser, if you will.
Okay. And can you describe that vehicle?
Sure. It's an F-150 truck with an extra cab and an extended bed on it, so it's a rather large vehicle.
Okay. How many seats are in the vehicle?
Technically, seating for 6. It was a bench seat in the front and a bench seat in the back, but my back seat was full of equipment. And then in the front seat, I usually kept the center console folded down for like a drink holder, things like that. So most comfortably 2, impossibly 3.
Okay. And is there a secure area of this vehicle like many police cruisers?
No.
Okay. So the entire inside of it is accessible?
Open, correct.
Okay. Does it have any sort of Vermont State Police insignia on it?
No, completely unmarked.
What were you wearing that day?
I was wearing my crime scene uniform, which is a pair of cargo style, I'd say tan pants, a green polo shirt with the state police emblem, and it said CSST on it, but that was covered with a plain black fleece, so I didn't have any obvious markings of the state police on my person that day.
You weren't wearing a state trooper uniform that we've all
No,
seen?
I was not.
Okay. How far away is the Maple Fields from the St. Albans Barracks?
It's approximately a mile down the road.
Okay. So can you tell the jury what happened when you pulled into the Maple Fields?
Sure. Due to the size of the truck, it wasn't practical to park in sort of a normal parking spot, if you will. The back end of the vehicle would stick out several feet. So I often chose to park, not in a parking spot, along a parking lot edge or something like that. So as I pulled in to the entrance to the store, I had my eye on a spot where I wanted to park sort of parallel to the road, well away from parking spots. I noticed a male was just sort of nonchalantly walking walking right where I wanted to park. So I was, I can't remember if I muttered it or if I just thought under my breath, like, oh my gosh, hurry up, that's where I want to park. So I sort of slowly, crawled behind the person until they diagonally cut across and went into the store.
And so once you entered the store, where did you immediately go?
Right to the back of the store where the coolers are located. That's where the energy drinks were.
Okay. And as you're walking towards the back of the store, did you notice anything?
I noticed that same male. I had sort of given him a nickname in my head of Hoodie because he was wearing his hood up. It was chilly that morning. And I noticed that same male that I had waited to move out of my way so I could park was also at the coolers. He had walked right to the back of the store as well.
Okay. And what was he doing?
He was getting a drink out of the cooler and sort of stepping back from the cooler at that time.
Did you recognize the male?
When he closed the door to the cooler and he turned around and we made eye contact, I was like, wait, I know this person. In that moment, I couldn't figure out where or why. My brain was still trying to catch up with me. But I knew I recognized him.
Okay. And did you ultimately determine how you recognized him?
Yeah, so he walked to the right and then turned to walk up to one of the aisles towards the front of the store, and he turned and looked at me again, and we locked eyes again, and at that point, I recognized that it was Joseph Ferlazzo.
Okay. And how did you recognize him? What have you seen?
So I had spent, like I said, a lot of that morning sort of scouring through social media. I had seen dozens of pictures of Mr. Ferlazzo as well as Emily. And then also our public information officer for the state police was at the barracks that morning. He was preparing a press release that he was getting ready to put out with photos, which included Mr. Ferlazzo, and he had asked me to proofread that for him just before I went to the store, so it was like another look at Mr.
Were the same condition upon arrival at the barracks as they were when collected from the camper van during the searches on October 19th, 2021 and October 20th, 2021. Chain of custody is not being challenged as it relates to these items. As with any evidence in this trial, you must decide what weight you will give this stipulation. And that's State's Exhibit 121, admitted without objection.
Thank you, Judge. And the state would first move to admit states 37, 38, and 39.
No objection.
Exhibits 37 through 39 are admitted without objection.
Detective Sergeant Nolan, can you tell the jury what this photo is?
Certainly, this is a view of the right side that Mr. Ferlazzo and Emily were traveling in.
Okay. So these double doors on the right side here is the entrance?
Correct.
And this one?
This is the driver's side of the vehicle.
And this
The rear.
Okay. Judge, the state would next move for states 40 through 75.
Okay, do you want to first give us 37 through 39 of you?
Yes.
I'll take them first. Any objection to 40 through 78?
No objection, thank you.
Or Exhibit 40 through 78 are admitted without objection.
So we're gonna, the next group of photographs is from the inside of the van at the time of the search. What was the authority to search the van at the time?
We had a search warrant.
Okay. So I'm going to show you first states 40. Can you tell the jury what this is showing?
Sure, this is a photo of the entrance and steps up into the van. What you're seeing is, I believe, like a bug net or mosquito net over or once the double door was opened. It's hard to see up there, but you're looking to where the driver's seat would be, and there was a curtain up over the driver's door for privacy over the driver's window.
Okay. Can you describe for the jury what this photo is of?
This is the bathroom of the van with several black household garbage bags on the floor of the shower.
States 42.
Another view of the bathroom from a little further away. Another photo of the bags in the bathroom. Here, the bags are numbered with placards that we use to identify our evidence items. So you're seeing 1 through 7. Here you're seeing items 1 through 8 laid out on butcher paper. Bags were taken out one at a time and placed onto butcher paper as we removed them and numbered them.
Okay. And is this how you refer to the bags moving forward? Is by these numbers?
Correct.
Okay. States 46?
This is a 12-gauge shotgun that was located at the foot of the bed in the camper.
States 47?
This is looking at the head of the bed.
And so are these pillows?
Yes, these are bed pillows, the sheets, a blanket, a comforter perhaps, and then there was also a black duffel bag on the bed.
Okay.
This is a Glock firearm that was found underneath the pillows of the, I would say, front side of the bed. Again, standing at the foot of the bed, looking at it would be the left side of the bed.
Okay.
More close-up image showing the Glock firearm.
Okay. And it's the 11 next door, next to it mean that it was labeled item 11?
Correct, evidence item number 11.
Okay. And was there a magazine in this firearm?
There was.
And I guess first, can you describe to the jury what a magazine is?
Sure, a magazine is what holds the rounds of ammunition in a semi-automatic pistol like this, so the magazine sits up into the grip of the firearm, and that's, again, where the cartridges are held.
Okay. Do you know what the magazine capacity was?
It was a 15-round magazine, so it would hold 15 cartridges, excuse me.
Okay. And were you able to tell how many rounds were in the magazine?
There were 9 in the magazine.
Right. And was there a round in the chamber?
There was.
Okay. And so was the 15-round magazine that was in the bullets, was in the firearm, was that labeled as 11A?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you what has been marked as 79 and 79, state 79 and 79A. Are you familiar with what each of these is?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just describe to the jury what each one is?
Yes. State 79, which is marked in our evidence system as number 48, is the Glock firearm shown in the pictures that was found under the pillows of the bed. And State 79A, which is marked item number 53 in our evidence system, is the magazine and the cartridges that were included in the magazine and the one in the chamber.
Okay. Are you able to open
I can,
79?
certainly.
And were both of these items, the firearm and the magazine, the bullets, were those brought to the Vermont Forensic Lab for testing?
They were.
Looking at the bullets that were in the magazine, are you able to tell whether there's a head stamp on them?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury what that means and what they say?
Certainly. So the head stamp on the ammunition tells us the manufacturer and the gauge. So these are SIG 9mm Luger. So Luger is a style of bullet or a type of ammunition, and the 9mm is the caliber of the ammunition, and the manufacturer is SIG.
How many firearms total were located in the camper?
There were 6 total.
Okay. How many pistols or handguns?
2 handguns.
Okay. And this being one of them.
Correct.
What was the second one?
Second one was a 9mm Taurus pistol.
Show you what's been marked as states 50. Can you tell us what that is?
Yes, that is a 9mm Taurus pistol.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. The state would move to admit 79 and 79A.
Any objection?
No objection.
They're admitted without
Thank you.
objection.
Where should I put them, Your Honor?
Looking at states 50A, can you tell us what this is?
Yes, so these are the 2 kitchen drawers opened, and the drawer on the right you can see in the lower, in the front lower corner of the photo there is the Taurus pistol in the leather holster.
Okay.
Another view of that sort of more close up.
So this is where that second handgun was located when you searched the van,
Correct.
and that holster was on it?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what this is a?
Sure, this is I would say a storage cubby unit that had been built in to the van above the head of the bed.
Okay. And did you search these baskets?
We did.
And can you tell the jury what is in this picture?
Certainly, in one of the baskets contained miscellaneous ammunition and also a silencer or suppressor.
And was the silencer suppressor labeled as item 22?
I would need to refer to my report or an evidence list to be sure, but to the best of my recollection, yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 52A. And would move to admit 52A, Judge, based on no objections.
Oh, okay. Any objection?
Objection.
52A is admitted without objection.
Can you tell the jury what this is?
Okay, so it was marked 22. This is the silencer or suppressor seen in the photograph that was in that basket with the ammunition.
Okay. And did you know, was the silencer sent to the lab for testing?
It was.
Okay. And did you notice anything of interest related to the silencer?
The items as they were collected were brought onto the command post where we have better lighting and a controlled environment to take better photographs. During the time when this was being examined and photographed and documented on the truck, there were red fibers, or at least a red fiber, in the end of the silencer that were appreciated by members.
Okay. And were you able to collect that?
No, during the process of trying to collect it, we believe that it fell down into the barrel of the silencer.
Okay. So did you take a swab from the silencer?
We did take a swab of the silencer.
Okay. And was that labeled 22A?
Yes,
And did that go to the Vermont Forensic Lab for testing?
yes.
I'm going to show you states 53. I'll take it.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you tell the jury what's in this photo?
This is just in front of, so the bed made up the entire back of the camper, the rear of the camper. So just in front of that, looking down the camper on the left-hand side was like a couch area, if you will, 2 small chair type things. There was a space in between, so it's more of a chair than a couch, I guess, a seating area.
And states 54?
This is a photo from the kitchen area, again, looking to the back of the van, showing the bed.
States 55?
This is, as each layer of bedding was removed from the bed, further photographs were taken. So this is down to the mattress with like a mattress topper on it.
Okay.
This is the mattress outside what you see in the previous photo, the underside of what you could see in the previous photo.
Okay.
This is the bed, the shelf that the mattress laid on after the mattress was removed.
Could you just make sure to note the number you're talking
Yes.
about when you talk about this?
Thank you. So I'm looking at states 57.
States 57 shows the base where the mattress laid on top of.
Okay. And there's a close-up in the next photo, but was there something of interest that,
There is a red-brown stain on the fourth panel of wood up.
okay. States 58.
Yeah, so this is a red-brown stain on the panel where the mattress had been laying on the bed.
What was the significance of taking the photos of the mattress and then of the wood underneath?
So when we brought the mattress outside of the van and took photographs of both sides, it was pretty clear that a bleeding event happened on what ended up being the underside of the mattress, the way we found it, right? On the left-hand side, so the side closest to the inside of the camper. There was a significant blood stain there. While that stain was still wet, the mattress was then flipped, so the stain is more on the right side or the back side, towards the back of the camper.
Okay. And did you collect any swabs from the mattress?
We took a large cutting from the blood stain.
Okay, and did that get labeled as 17A, item 17A?
Yes,
And did that get sent to the lab for testing?
it did.
I'm looking at states 59. Can you tell us what this is a picture of?
So this is the floor area, and you see the driver's seat of the van and the contents behind the seat. There is a faded red toolbox of sorts that had a red-brown stain on it, as well as, very hard to see in this photograph, but you can see the handle of a saw that was also collected. There's the saw.
State 60, is that the saw that was in the previous photo?
Yes.
And state 61?
State 61 is a close-up view of the end of the saw with a red-brown stain on the end.
Okay. And was DNA swab collected from the blade, the reddish-brown stain on the?
It was.
And was that identified as 32A?
Yes. Yes,
And was that also sent to the lab?
it was.
Tell us what this is a photograph of?
This is a photo of a garbage can on top of I'm not sure if it was a shelf or a refrigerator.
That's state 62. And state 63?
Inside the garbage can is this bottle, which when it was removed is a bottle of bleach.
State 64.
The bleach bottle.
And state 65?
This is the floor of the shower after the 8 bags were removed from the shower. There are red-brown stains on the floor of the shower.
Okay, and was a swab collected from the tub drain?
It was.
Was that labeled as item 36?
No, I believe those are 33.
The swab was also 33?
I believe so. If I could, I'd need to refer to my report to be sure. I believe 36 was a different swab of red-brown stains.
Okay. I'm going to, just to be sure.
Yes, thank you.
You wrote several reports in this case. Would this be the van and processing report?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked as stage 107.
Thank you.
Just refresh your recollection.
Thank you so much. So 33, as depicted by the placard, 33 was 2 swabs of the shower floor that are seen there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm going to just go back to the bleach bottle for 1 minute. When this picture was taken of the Hannaford bleach bottle, was there a known significance at the time?
We believe that the van had been cleaned.
Okay. All right. State 66, can you tell us what this is?
This is a not very clear photograph of the contents in what would be the passenger side floor area. There's various items there, but the item of significance to us was the Swiffer wet jet mop.
Okay. And state 67?
Yes, this is a photo once the mop was removed out of that area.
State 68?
60 shows the bottom side of the Swiffer pad that is dirty with some red-brown stains as well.
And state 69?
This would be the side that sticks to the Velcro, so the upper side, but you can see that the red-brown stains have soaked through to the other side of the cloth.
And state 70?
State 70 is a bag that was also located in that area, shown a few photographs ago, where the mop was. This is a garbage bag that contained a pair of gloves.
Okay. So this bag was not located in the shower, is that?
Correct. This was not in the shower.
In state 71?
Those are the gloves that were inside of that bag.
State 72?
This is the center console area of the van, and we're just sort of taking that photograph to show the area, and the next photograph gives you what we're actually taking a photo of.
State 73?
This ring was recognized by me as being Emily's engagement/wedding ring.
Okay. And how did you recognize that?
From my time earlier in the day going through social media posts, there's a photograph of Emily and Joseph on what appears to be their wedding day, and the ring is depicted in that photograph.
So state 74, is that just a closer?
That's a closer view of the ring, yes.
In state 75?
This is another photograph because on closer examination of the ring, there were red-brown stains on the ring.
Okay. And so state 76, is this the photograph that you located on Facebook?
That's one of the photographs where I recognize the ring, yes.
Okay, and so this is a photograph of Mr. Ferlazzo and Emily Ferlazzo?
Yes,
And she appears to be wearing that ring. Is that the importance?
yes.
Did you also go to the Bear Run condo in question?
I did. It was a few days later, but yes.
Oh, I think I already admitted them, so I'm going to go. All right. State 77, can you tell us what this is?
So this is a photograph of the parking area. It is depicting the front of my truck, my cruiser at the time, as the parking lot was rather narrow, but a parking area that goes for the condos.
Okay. And state 78?
Another view of the condo.
And what was the significance of these photographs?
This was the condo that Mr. Ferlazzo's sister had rented for the weekend when Joseph and Emily came to visit them.
And were you also present for the autopsy of Emily Ferlazzo?
I was.
Okay. And where did that occur?
At the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner here in Burlington.
And do you recall when that occurred?
That occurred on the 20th of October, 2021.
Your Honor, if I may approach with States 122, which is the stipulation number 7.
Any objection to stipulation of number 7?
Thank you.
And 122 would be the state exhibit number. Members of the jury, the state and defendant, Joseph Ferlazzo, have agreed that you may find certain facts. This is called a stipulation. 8 black garbage bags were collected on October 9, 2021 by Vermont State Police Detective Sergeant Damie Nolan during a search of the camper pursuant to a valid search warrant. The 8 black garbage bags were transported to the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner by Vermont State Police Detective Ben Katz. These bags were x-rayed by Dr. Shapiro at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner on October 20th, 2021. Bags number 1 and number 2 did not contain human remains and were examined by Detective Sergeant Damie Nolan of the Vermont State Police. Bags number 1 and number 2 were in the same condition at the time of their inspection as they were when collected from the camper on October 19, 2021. Bag number 1 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 1/CSST OCME, Office of Chief Medical Examiner 1. Bag number 2 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 2/CSST OCME 2. Bags number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8 contained human remains, and the contents were examined by Dr. Stephen Shapiro. Bags number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8 were in the same condition at the time of their inspection as they were when collected from the camper during the search on October 19, 2021. Bag number 3 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 3/CSST OCME 3. Bag number 4 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 4/CSST OCME 4. Bag number 5 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 5/CSST OCME 5. Bag number 6 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 6/CSST OCME 6. Bags number 7 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 7/CSST OCME 7. Bag number 8 was logged by the Vermont State Police as CSST Van 8/CSST OCME 8. Chain of custody of these items is not being challenged. As with any evidence in this trial, you must decide what weight you will give this stipulation. And 122 is the exhibit number.
Thank you, Judge. And the state would move to admit photographs 81 through 91.
Any objection? 81 through 91 are admitted without objection.
Okay. So you said that the autopsy of Ms. Ferlazzo occurred on October 20th of 2021.
That's correct.
What was the first thing that you did in the autopsy?
All of the bags were placed into a transport bag. And the first thing that was done was that bag was documented and then opened. And then each bag was x-rayed.
Okay. What did you discover in the first bag?
In the first bag was a red throw pillow.
And for the record, I'm showing you what's been marked as States 81.
Yes. The pillow, as you can clearly see, appeared to have 2 bullet defects in it.
And was this throw pillow identified as item 1A?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 80 and judge will take admission as States 80.
That's 80 in
Yes.
your hand. Any objection, Ms. Johnson?
No objection.
80 is admitted without objection.
Can you just describe for the jury what this is and the significance?
So this is the red throw pillow seen in the picture, along with the original packaging that it came in.
Was a sample of this throw pillow sent to the lab?
Yes, I believe there was a sample of it. Yes.
And when you saw this pillow in the first bag, did it look familiar to you?
It did.
And why is that?
There was another identical pillow on the couch sitting area of the van.
So I'm showing you it's States 82. Is that the other matching
Yes,
pillow?
very similar, if not identical pillow.
And what did you discover in the second garbage bag?
There was a bed pillow, which had a gray pillowcase on it. In between the pillowcase and the pillow was a projectile. And there was also a gray sheet, a fleece sheet in the bag.
Showing you what's marked as States 83.
So this is the gray pillowcase with the projectile on the pillowcase.
Okay. And was this projectile labeled as item 2A?
I would need to refer to my autopsy report if possible.
Would it also likely be on the evidence?
It would,
tag?
yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 108 for your recollection,
Thank you.
your autopsy report. But I'm also going to just show you what's been marked as 83A.
Okay. Yes, 2A.
So that is the projectile that was located between the pillow and the pillowcase.
Correct.
We've moved to admit States 83A.
Ms. Johnson, any objection to 83A?
No.
83A is admitted without objection.
And in States 84, can you tell the jury what this is?
This is a projectile that was located within the actual pillow, not the red pillow, the other pillow that was in the bag.
Like a bed pillow?
A bed pillow, yes.
And was that projectile labeled as item 2B? Or 2B, I should say.
2B.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 84.
Ms. George, you need a pillow.
Yes, 2B.
Move to admit States 84A. Is it admitted, Judge?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, 84A.
Any objection?
No objection.
84A is admitted without objection.
Show you what's been marked as states 85. And tell the jury what this is.
This is a cartridge casing, meaning a fired round of ammunition.
Show you what's been marked as 85A. And was this noted as item 2C?
C, yes, so it was also located in garbage bag number 2.
Okay. Move to admit states 85A.
Any objection, Ms. Johnson?
No objection.
85A is admitted without objection.
And can you tell us what states 86 is a picture of?
This is the gray pillowcase that was on the bed pillow, located in bag number 2. This is the pillow that that pillowcase was on.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 87A. Jury, what that is?
This is the pillow depicted in that photograph that was in the gray pillowcase.
And anything of significance you can still see?
There is a clear bullet defect in the pillow.
Judge, the state would move to admit states 87A.
Any objection? 87A admitted.
And on the back side of that pillow?
Yes.
And also depicted in states 88. What is that?
Based on the x-ray, there was, the projectile we believed was in the filling of the pillow, so that's where I cut into the pillow to find the projectile.
Okay, thank you. And states 89.
This is the fitted bed sheet that was also in bag number 2.
States 90.
These are 2 unfired rounds of ammunition, also located in bag number 2.
And states 91.
This is a projectile that was removed from bag 4.
I'll show you what's been marked as states 91A, and also item 4A.
Yes.
Can you just tell us again what that is?
Yeah, it's a projectile.
And that was discovered in bag number 4.
Yes.
State would move to admit 91A.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
And was that item, that last item sent to the lab for testing?
It was.
What else was located in bag number 4, if anything?
Sorry. Emily's head.
Okay. In looking at that, were you able to determine Emily's identity?
Yes.
And how were you able to determine that?
I recognized Emily from photos.
Okay. I'm going to enter stipulation number 8, Judge, states 123.
Any objection, Ms. Johnson? Stipulation number 8. Members of the jury, the state and the defendant, Joseph Ferlazzo, have agreed that you may find certain facts. This is called a stipulation. 8 black garbage bags were collected on October 19, 2021 by Vermont State Police Detective Sergeant Amy Nolan during a search of the camper pursuant to a valid search warrant. 8 black garbage bags were transported to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner by the Vermont State Police Detective Ben Katz. These bags were x-rayed and further analyzed by Dr. Shapiro at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner on October 20th, 2021. Bags number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8 contain human remains. Those remains were identified as Emily Ferlazzo, date of birth July 25th, 1999. Emily Ferlazzo's identity is not being challenged.
Excuse me.
As with any evidence in this trial, you must decide what weight you will give this stipulation. States Exhibit 123, admitted.
What did you discover in the 5th bag?
I'd like to refer to my report if I could.
Yes. And that's, remind me what number that is.
That is States 108. Okay. Bag number 5 contained a right arm and a left foot.
And what did you discover in the 6th garbage bag?
Bag number 6 contained the rest of the right leg.
And the 7th garbage bag?
And number 7 contained Emily's torso.
And the 8th garbage bag?
Left arm and right foot.
And did you also collect swabs from the remains found in these bags?
From the remains, no. A DNA card was collected to have a sample of Emily's DNA, but the handles of the bags had been swabbed on scene on the 19th.
Okay, I was referring to the DNA card. Can you tell the jury what that means?
Sure. During autopsy, because it's always standard protocol to have a DNA sample of a victim or a decedent on file. So a blood sample is taken, a drop of blood is placed onto a card, and that's called a DNA card.
Okay. And was that DNA card labeled as item 15? Are you able to, is it in your
Sorry,
report?
yes. Yes.
Okay. And was that sent to the Vermont Forensic Lab for testing?
Yes, it was.
When you were examining the remains, did anything about a particular area of the body surprise you given what you knew about the investigation?
Yes.
What caught your attention or what surprised you?
Dr. Shapiro actually drew my attention when he was examining Emily's torso.
Okay. And so did you look for yourself to see what had caught his attention?
I did.
And what about the body did you observe?
Several stab wounds in Emily's torso.
Okay. And what were the sort of approximate location of these stab wounds?
Mostly upper chest, one particularly which would have probably entered her heart.
And any on the backside of her torso?
I believe there were a few on the back as well.
And so did learning of this additional information during the autopsy lead you to search for anything additional in the van?
Yes, so because I was at the autopsy, my partner, Aaron McNeil, had shown up in the later evening on the 19th. So on the 20th, because I was going to the autopsy, he was sort of overseeing we thought we were wrapping up processing, but learning this information during autopsy, the focus then became collecting all knives found in the van, excuse me.
Okay, and so did you have Aaron McNeil go into the van and collect those knives?
He was still working in the van that following day, so we just sort of said, okay, we're now need to focus on any knives found.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
You ready?
Good afternoon, Detective
Push it.
Step out of your way. Just push it.
It's fine. Just a few follow-up questions. And for clarification, you attended the autopsy as an observer, correct?
As an evidence collector.
Okay. But you didn't really have any part of conducting the actual examination, correct?
Correct.
And just a few questions back to the Maple Fields encounter, the afternoon, excuse me, of October 19th, 2021. You already testified that when you were walking with Mr. Ferlazzo to your vehicle, you had observed him seeming as if he might pass out, and you asked to put your hand on him.
Correct.
Do you recall testifying in a deposition on November 11th, 2022? No, sorry, November 29th, 2022.
I recall testifying in a depot, yes.
Okay. And in the deposition, you also described him at that particular point as he looked woozy. Do you recall that?
That would be accurate.
Okay. And you also described him as wobbling as he was walking. Do you recall that?
Yeah, that would be accurate as well.
Okay. And also in the deposition, you described him as looking pale and pasty. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. As you were walking with Mr. Ferlazzo to your truck, did you ever tell him he was free to leave?
No.
Okay. But he was essentially in custody, correct?
No, not at that point.
So if Mr. Ferlazzo had tried to walk away at that point, though, you probably wouldn't have allowed it, correct?
I would not have allowed it.
Okay. I'm just briefly, when you arrived at the St. Albans Vermont State Police Department, Vermont State Police Barracks, there was not an interview room available at that time, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Ferlazzo had to stand, everyone was standing and waiting in the hallway until the interview room cleared out, correct?
There were three of us with Mr. Ferlazzo at that time in a hallway, correct.
Okay. And you had stated in your report, as well as your deposition, that you offered Mr. Ferlazzo a chair as well as some water because, as you stated, he appeared physically exhausted and barely able to stand. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was leaning against the wall.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. George?
No redirect, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May we approach, Judge?
Come on up. Tomorrow is so we're going to break for today. Tomorrow's a shorter day, but I'm going to ask you to get here a little early. I'm going to ask you to get here at 8:15. I'm hoping to start at 8:30. We're going to go until about 12:30 and then break for the day because we have some things in court I have to do independent of this case. And then we'll start again and might get through the evidence on Wednesday. That's at least the hope. We'll see how things go, but so far we're definitely ahead of schedule. All right? So we're going to release you for today. Same admonition, please, please, please don't talk to anybody about this case. Don't try and find out any information about it or read any news sources of any kind or social media posts. And with that, have a good night, and we'll see you at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
All rise.
Any other issues anyone wants to discuss outside the presence of the jury before we break for the day?
No, Judge. Thank you so much.
Tomorrow, why don't you all get here at 8:15 just to make sure there are no additional issues to take up before your first witness.
And we'll start at 8:30? Okay.
Sarah, can you just ask for leaving the evidence?
Yes,
Yes.
so.
The court is
I'd
us
rather
to
you-
keep it, okay.